I got a great suggestion to do the test loop at night from Ruben, so we will do our first test loop after dark. I'll apologize now for the blurry camera. Didn't do a real good job at night. As usual, we'll start off with country roads first. Here it grabs the brakes a little bit hard coming around the corner. I'm not sure if it's detecting that truck. It normally slows down a little bit for this turn, but not quite so aggressively. I definitely noticed more phantom braking at night on the test loop than I had seen during the day. With that said, it wasn't quite as abrupt as it was with previous versions. Like previous tests with version 10, it does a great job of slowing down before the corner, and then takes the corners at a decent pace. So it was pretty smooth with most of the corners, and again, even accelerating out of the corners, it does a good job at this. Coming up is probably the most aggressive phantom braking I saw that evening, where it slowed down pretty substantially. Not sure if it was the oncoming car or maybe it detected that the turn was going to be tighter. There wasn't anything obvious on the screen. Unfortunately, right here my camera failed, so I had to stop and go back a little bit and start from that section again. Coming up is a relatively gentle right turn. However, it always slows down pretty aggressively here. I've seen it happen probably 3 or 4 times. I assume it thinks the corner is sharper than it really is. One other item I'll talk about is the auto high beams. I actually have it on for the entire trip, and you'll see it flashing up and down on its own. Here it does it even though there's a car in front of me, then flicks it back down. Now this is the right-hand corner with a left turn. This time there weren't any cars in the turning lane when I came through. It still slowed down to about 35, which is about 5 miles per hour lower than the recommended speed through the corner. So it's being a little bit more cautious than maybe most drivers would, but not bad at all. I have to say that I'm really impressed with how it slows down for the corners now with version 10. It's a really neat feature. I'll show a couple of examples here of it just doing this over and over again. When it does this, you really think about the technology that went into making this work and just how far Tesla has come with this. I mean, the car is driving itself. It's pretty amazing. That just never gets old. Though the auto high beams are pretty good, here's an example of where it should have put them down sooner. It turned them down almost as I was on the cars. Now I don't know if all Teslas do this now, but with the Model X, when it flips the high beams, they kind of get brighter over a couple of seconds of time. It's pretty interesting to watch. Coming up is another example where it's a little bit late with the high beams, and it seems that when cars are approaching from the right side or from a right turn, that it's a little bit later than if they're straight on or from the left. Now this isn't all the time, and I'll have to keep an eye on it to see how it progresses. You can see with the cars coming up on the left side, it flips down very quickly. Here's another great example of it slowing down for turns. It also does a pretty good job with auto high beams. We're now coming up on a very sharp left turn where the road was modified, and the car does slow down to about 30 miles per hour, and it even starts to turn into the turn a little bit, but is just going too fast and wasn't going to make it. So there doesn't really appear to be any difference between day and night around that corner specifically. And I'm coming up on my normal camera check stop. Coming up on a sharp right turn, it does a good job of slowing down before the turn and makes it through without a problem. The oncoming car coming through the corner doesn't seem to faze it at all. The car I was following is about to turn left here, and again it slows down much better with version 10, though it seems to still lag a bit before it starts accelerating again. Overall, there was more phantom braking at night, and also the auto high beams, though they're good, they still have a little bit of room for improvement. But the driving characteristics are still very good, especially going into the corners, braking for cars. So overall, I'd say it does a really good job on these country roads. In the next video, we will try out the twisty road at night. Thanks for watching.